We're back, albeit with a very late start. Um, where do I even begin? Well, we are back here for another UFL live stream. It's the beginning and the end, basically, of week 3 of the UFL because this is the only game that I am able to do of week number 3. After week 2 last week, where I was able to do all 4 of those games, this week it's the total opposite. Just 1 out of 4. And of course, it's a rematch of a game that we've seen last week. If you recall, the second game we did in week 2 was the matchup between these two teams at Orlando. This week, they rematch in Louisville. We have the Orlando Storm, who are currently undefeated, 2-0. And for the first time this season, they are going on the road. Taking on the Louisville Kings. The last time these two teams met, which was last week, Orlando won 19-9. This time around, there has been no scoring. There had been no scoring happening throughout the majority of the first quarter until that field goal that they just scored a few moments ago. So Louisville right now is leading this game 3-0. Let me see. Whoop, accidentally deactivated my camera there. I don't know. That color just doesn't really suit them. I want to keep the same overlays as I did for when the last time these two teams met. So anyway, we're in the home stretch of the first quarter, and it's 3-0 Louisville. So currently it is Orlando with the ball. They are at the Louisville 32-yard line after a big play. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Away we go from Louisville. So first play of this live stream is a handoff that only goes for a single yard. Now, no worries, Snark will be joining me here tonight, but unfortunately, Godax will not. They are attending an event that they will be hanging out with, so they will not be here for this stream, but that is all right. They'll be here when they are able to make it. All right, so right now the Storm have a 2nd and 9, and it is a quarterback run that goes for a first down inside the 20-yard line of the Kings as Jack Plummer delivers a first down for the Storm. All right, so the Storm now have a first down at the Louisville 19-yard line. Handoff on the right side. This is Trey Stewart. He continues forward and picks up a first down at the 8-yard line. So all of a sudden, it is 1st and goal for the Storm. Oh, buddy. So here we go. First down and goal from the 7. Gives to Stewart. Running out of room very quickly and gets absolutely nothing. No gain. And this should actually take us to the end of quarter number 1. Yeah, it was that short because I started so late. But again, no scoring happened, which was actually a blessing in disguise. The only scoring that happened was when I started the stream, and a field goal was made by the Kings. All right, well, I'm going to go get water for my voice, and also because the first quarter is over. So hopefully by the time I'm back, the second quarter is underway. I'll be back in just a moment. Naturally, I drop a couple of ice cubes. Luckily, the floor's clean. Come on, you're already sticking to the sides of the thermos, dude. Come on! Why is it that the ice always freezes together? This is ridiculous! Oh, I needed that. All right, let's switch on over to quarter number 2. All right, second and goal, and that pass is incomplete. Boy, they went right into that second down play to start the quarter. Batted down immediately by the Kings. Number 18, Thomas, is there for the breakup. All right, it brings up third and goal for the Storm. From the 8-yard line. Plummer pitches it for the touchdown! Chris Rowland and the Storm are on the board. Just casually tosses it up in the air, and Rowland is there for the score. Orlando takes the lead. Now here's Lance for the extra point. Up and through. So the Storm now lead it 7-3. All right. Kings looking to try to answer in just a moment. All right. I'm going to get out of these tennis shoes into my Crocs here because it is it's starting to get warm. They need to cool down. Oh, also, how about this for an interesting development? I saw this on my YouTube recommendations. 2 years from now, the UFL is coming to Oklahoma City. So we're going to have another league renovation 2 years from now. Ugh. All right. Crocs are on. Let's get back to the game here. Here's the kickoff to the Kings. The return. Inside the 30, down to the 32, 33-yard line. All right. Here we go. First down for the Kings coming up. Jesus. First down, handoff, and a gain of just 2 yards. All right, only a gain of 2, 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. Here's a throw with a screen trying to be set up with blockers. He's got a first down. Jason Bean back in there at quarterback as Rodgers was on at quarterback last drive and he couldn't do any good. Making the catch on that last play there was Winstead. Isaiah Winstead. So now the Kings have a first down at the 47. Handoff on first down. Trying to get around the defense. It does for a gain of 6. Great patience by Benny Snell to pick up 6 yards on what looked like was going to be a negative play at first. All right, 2nd and 5. They are now in Orlando territory. Back up the middle. Snell is going to pick up 4. That'll be 3rd down coming up for the Kings. All right, 3rd and 1. That's a shot of the offensive coordinator of the Kings, Steve Logan. Here we go. 3rd and 1 for the Kings from the Orlando 44. Bean keeps it, now throws and severely overthrows Winstead. He was wide open. If he didn't throw so hard, he could have had it. And now because they're past the 50-yard line, they've got to go for this. They cannot punt this. Remember, if you've crossed the 50-yard line on your current drive and you are faced with a 4th down, you either go for a field goal or you go for it. No punting allowed. So they got to go for this 4th and 1. Handoff and not even close. Brought back to the 45-yard line, and it's Orlando ball after a turnover on downs. Ian Wheeler got the handoff, but he was met immediately in the backfield by the Storm defense. And Orlando will take over at that spot in just a moment. Wow. All right, I'm going to look ahead to Week 4's matches because, again, this is the only one for Week 3 I'm going to be able to do. All right, so Week 4. Oh, shoot. All right, so let's see. So there's actually a Thursday night game that I could do, so that's going to open up Week 4 as the Kings face the Gamblers. Okay. Then we have a Friday night game, of course. Renegades Aviators. Okay, I can do that one. The Saturday game I don't know about. Storm against the Stallions. That's a 3 p.m. game. I don't know. I don't think I can do that one. And the other one is a 11:30. Wow. Okay, so I can just do 2 games next week. Luckily, one of them involves the Renegades. I was kind of hoping I could do all 4 next week to make up for it, but sadly, that won't be the case. I'll only be able to do 2 of the 4. All right, first down from the 45-yard line for the Storm after the turnover on downs. Handoff down to midfield. All right. So that is Jashawn Corbin on the handoff. He picks up 4. Brings up 2nd and 6. Second and 6. Handoff. Nothing. Boy, no gain on that carry. All right, third down and 5. 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Third and 5. Plummer under pressure. Pump fakes and throws it away. I think they might be just outside of the point where they have to go for it. So they are. It was at the 49. So luckily for them, they have the ability. They are allowed to punt it. Right, they're literally at the 40 at their own 49-yard line. Like it's that close. All right, so here's Browning with the punt. Oh, he buffs it. Jackson trying to get back on it. The ball's still on the ground. Orlando players trying to get on it, but I think Jackson held on. Oh, he got lucky. Oh, it was still loose, but Jackson, I think, did just enough to secure it. So the Kings will take over. Boy, they catch a lucky break. Ah, there it is. Looks like Buzz Lightyear is finally in Fortnite. That's good. Just received an update from Snark. He might be out tonight because there's no power in his room again. Like, I've heard nothing from him after that. First down for the Kings from their own 15-yard line. Bean going deep. It's caught! Oh, what a catch! Prather on the receiving end of that big play. First down, Louisville. What a snag! Oh, what a grab! Right as he was falling, he caught it. Oh, man. And just like that, they're at the Orlando 46. Here's a reverse. Jackson's going to fire wide open. It's Prather again. And make that Winstead for a first down for the Kings. Now they pick up a first down via trickery. Incredible. Reverse to Jackson and then pitches it to a wide open Isaiah Winstead for a massive first down as they keep on going. Wow. 2 straight first downs off of insane plays. However, we do have a Storm defender down on the ground. That's insane. Jackson 21 of the Storm is heading to the sideline under his own power. First down from the 20. Bean escaping, gonna run with room inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line for a first and goal. Make that 3 straight first downs. First Prather, then Winstead, now Bean. So now the Kings have a first and goal from the 6-yard line. Handoff, nothing. He goes backwards for a loss of 1. Now bring up a second and goal. This drive, the Kings offense has had 4 plays for 78 yards as opposed to the first 2 drives with 15 plays and 64 yards. This offense has turned around for the better on this drive, but they've got to punch it in, and that's something they've struggled with these last 2 weeks. Second and goal from the 9. Bean throws to his right, severely overthrows Winstead. Winstead looking for a flag, does not get one. It's third and goal. If Winstead actually had a chance at it, it could have probably been flagged for PI, but B just severely overthrows him. Winstead, even if he was wide open, had no chance. All right, third and goal from the 9. Bean looking. He pitches it to Prather. Wasn't even looking for it. His back was facing the ball. Threw to a receiver who wasn't even facing the football. Wow. I don't know what Bean was thinking. Again, Prather was going towards was looking away from where Bean threw that football. And it landed on his and landed in front of the back of his feet. Ridiculous. Here's Tanner Brown from 27 yards out, and the kick is good. It's a 7-6 ball game. But Bean making 3 straight mistakes on that last drive. As soon as they picked up the 1st and goal, the momentum halted tremendously. My only question is why is Bean still quarterbacking? And now they're showing that 3rd down play that ended in a failure. Like, again, what was Bean thinking? Prather wasn't even looking for it. If anything, he should have gone to the receiver to the right of him. He had Benny Snell facing the ball further right, but instead he tries to target Prather. Like, dear God. Here's the kickoff to the Storm. Return from inside the 10 and picking up a seam. Out of bounds inside the 40. They're gonna tack on potentially an extra 15 yards as he got tackled well after he went out of bounds. Yep, well out of bounds as he took 2 steps out and then got tackled. So the Storm are going to have favorable field position here as they will take over. They're at the Louisville 42-yard line with that penalty. All right, so here we go. Plummer hands off. And they will be down to the 38-yard line as Stewart gets the carry. Trey Stewart. Second and 6 coming up for the Storm. Whew. On second down. Plummer escapes, throws, caught! Hamler for first down! KJ Hamler will give the Storm a first down and goal. Makes the catch inside the 10. Oh boy, 4 minutes left in the first half. It is a first and goal for Orlando. From the 9. Tossed to Roland. Well, it tossed to Roland. However, there was a false start. So that'll halt their momentum a little bit. False start on Orlando. Move them back to the 14-yard line. Make it first and goal again for Orlando. Red zone tonight, let's see. 2 trips to the red zone. They've had a touchdown. Oh, they had a missed field goal? Huh. Okay. First and goal from the 14. Plummer, pressure coming. He gets sacked! Backed up to the 19-yard line. And the loyal Kings fans, I think there are a lot of them in attendance over in Louisville. So that sack will push the Storm back further, even after the false start penalty on the first down play. Or the previous first down play. Second and goal. Plummer. With time, directing traffic. Throws it! Broke it up! Intended for Roland. But the Kings defenders were ready and batted it down. Oh. All right, so it's going to be third and goal for the Storm, and Roland, meanwhile, took a collision with number 12 of the Kings, and he's now on his way to the sideline. All right, so I believe this should take us to the 2-minute warning, unless the Storm wants to try to run this third down play, but I doubt it. All right, yep, we are at the 2-minute warning. The Storm are going to wait until after that, after the 2-minute warning, to run their third down play. All right, so here we go. 3rd and goal for the Storm coming out of the 2-minute warning. And yes, they can now officially confirm Storm cannot get on tonight. It's just a solo gig for me, but then again, I've done this pretty much a bulk of these years, so it's not really a big deal. All right, 3rd down for the Kings. They're at the 19-yard line. Plummer. They got him again! Another sack, and they went nowhere but backwards. The Storm just got halted in the red zone as they kept going backwards and backwards and backwards. All 3 of those plays. The false start penalty, and then I believe 2 straight sacks for the Kings defense. So now I think the Storm will go for a field goal. All right, so here's Michael Lance. What is the official distance on this field goal attempt? 44 yards. To make this a 4-point game. Missed from 28 earlier in the game. And Lance's kick is right up the middle and good. So the Storm entered double digits and lead at 10-6. But the Kings will have one opportunity to possess the ball in just a moment. Should also mention, Kings had actually burned a timeout. All right, here is the kickoff to the Kings with 2 timeouts left in their pocket. All right, here is the kick from the 5. And down to the 30-yard line. So the Kings against the Storm this season, between these 2 weeks, Kings have had 0 touchdowns on 14 drives. As Bean stepping back out as quarterback. All right, first down from the 30 for the Kings. Bean, pressure, flag down, throws it away. And whether a catch was made or not, it wouldn't have mattered. Offensive holding pins the back 10 yards. Here's the arm hold from number 69 of the Kings. That's gonna be their 3rd penalty of the night. All right, so 1st and 20 now for Louisville. Backed up to the 20. Handoff. And only a gain of 3. As Benny Snell gets stuffed immediately. And now now the Storm will burn their first timeout. This water's real refreshing, man. All right, so second and 17, 1:22 left in the half from the 23. On second and 17, Bean overthrows the receiver on an attempted screen. Tried to throw it to Wheeler, but he threw it way too high. Bean just can't throw tonight. Like, what is he doing? It's ridiculous. Jesus. All right, timeout taken by Louisville. Their second one of the half. Where's my shorts here? Okay. I'll be sure to change it to those before the second half starts. I'm still in my jeans right now. All right. Third and 17 coming up for the Kings. 1:18 left in this half. Third and 17. Bean throws. Caught! That is Winstead for a first down for Louisville with 1:09 left. Clock winding down from the 42. Bean, quick throw. Lucky Jackson with the catch. Down to the 48. 55 seconds left in counting. They have one timeout, but they're holding on to it for now. Second and 4. Bean throws wide open. First down. Trey McKinney with the catch and the chain mover for Louisville. First down from the 20. And a timeout taken. Well, was a timeout taken or is there an injury on the field? Jason Bean tonight, 7 completions for 149 yards, but still no touchdowns tonight. He's looking to change that here on this drive. The timeout was taken by Orlando. They have burned their second one. First down from the 20. And now another timeout. Louisville now burns their final timeout. All right, here we go. First down from the 20-yard line for the Kings. Bean throws over, throws Trey McKitty. It sails incomplete, 34 seconds left, second down. He had him too, but yet again, Bean makes the mistake of overthrowing him. Wide open, and he overthrows him. This has been a common thing for Bean to do when they're in the red zone. Has someone wide open, and they get overthrown. Second down. They just get the snap off. Bean, pressure, throws, it's caught! Winstead for a first and goal. Now they're at the 8, and now they mark it at the 7. And Bean will spike it. 26 seconds left. Bean decides to spike the ball, and it's second and goal. .26 seconds left in the half. Second and goal from the 7. Bean throws for Winstead. It's incomplete. It was a good throw, actually. It just got batted at the line. Well, not at the line, but batted in the direction of the intended receiver. It might have been deflected a little bit. Oh, yep. 96 gets a hand on it to break it up and make the catch towards Winstead difficult. It would have been a perfect throw, too. But it's now third and goal from the 7. I think Orlando jumped. This might be a free play. It is going to be caught by Lucky Jackson at the 2. They're probably better off declining the penalty and just taking the catch. Although then again, an offside, if this is offside on Orlando, it might actually give them a first down. Or, no, it probably wouldn't. Okay, no, it's half the distance. But they'll replay third and goal. Probably better to take the half the distance penalty and have a third and goal as opposed to a fourth and goal with declining it. Here we go, third and goal for the 3. Bean throws it up, incomplete. He was going for Caden Prather. So it's now fourth down. You could say that could be a flag, but they do not throw in here. It's fourth and goal. 12 seconds left. They've got to get this off quickly, and they do. Bean throws incomplete for Winstead. And the Kings get no points on the red zone drive again. We saw this happen last week. Bean throws in the direction of Winstead, and by the time he sees it, realizes that it's too late, and it goes to his left, passes his reach. So the Kings get no points in this drive, and the Storm will wrap up the half. Now, will they tell me who gets the ball to start the second half? Because I didn't see the start of the game. I guess they won't because they're going to an interview. All right, well, it is halftime. I'm going to change them to my shorts. I'll probably hop back on here after that. Give me just a few seconds. Okay. There we go. I also went ahead and I removed the plastic covering the plastic tape covering that was on my TV after I bought it. I left it on there for a couple of days, and I decided it was finally time to just take it off. So that is taken care of. But we are ready to go. Let's see. Got a blind girl and a monster hand. What now? That's the message for Mel's RE stream. Cool. While Snark isn't here in VC, he is with us in chat, so we'll take it. That's the best alternative we can get, honestly. Alright, now I will be heading to the bathroom now, so I will be back. I didn't think I was going to have to step away again, but I will. I'll keep the chair cam on. Be back. Lord have freaking mercy. They've already started the second half. It's ridiculous, man. I guess we continue from Louisville. I think I've already missed the first 5 minutes of this. Has Bean disconnected with Winstead to the 35. And no, it just started, but Jesus. First down for the Kings. Bean throws. Snell's got the catch. Down near the line again. It's going to depend on the spot. Now they give him a first down. Dang it, man. Did not think they were going to return to the second half that fast. They are quick with those halftime reports. When there's no performance in halftime, they're quick. It's ridiculous. First down for the 23. Bean, end zone! Touchdown! Zach Davidson for the score. Louisville with their first touchdown of the night. And the Kings take the lead to open up the second half. Jumping catch made by Davidson. The Kings lead at 12-10, pending the extra point by Brown. Kick is up, almost gets blocked, but is good. Well, how about that? Kings are now up 13-10. And for the Kings, that's their first touchdown in the last 139 minutes and 10 seconds of game time since week 1 in the first quarter. Their first touchdown since then. All right, here is the kickoff. Roland on the return. Roland with a seam down to the 40, down near the 40-yard line to the 39. All right. It will be a first down for Orlando coming up in just a moment. They start from their own 39. Handoff gets away from a tackler. And that is going to be Jashawn Corbin with a gain of 7 as he steps out of bounds. All right, 2nd and 3 from the 46. Plummer going deep, overthrows, and really nowhere near the vicinity of Elijah Badger. Pass sails incomplete. Third and 3 coming up for the Storm. Ugh. Third and 3 for Orlando. 1 for 6 on third down conversions tonight. But they will convert this one as Roland off to the races all the way down to the Louisville 25. First down, Orlando. First down from the 25. Plummer. Corbin with the catch out of bounds at the 21. Give him 4 on that reception. Second down. Second and 6 from the 21. Corbin on the handoff. Nothing. Kings defense wraps them up immediately. Third down. Third and 6 from the 21. Plummer. Throws. Roland will dive forward for a first down. So, Orlando continues to move the chains on this drive. Roland responsible for 85 receiving yards for the Storm. Rest of the team only with 56. And, well, they whistle that play, Dad. Flag is down. False start. Make it 1st and 15. The third Orlando penalty tonight. First and 15 from the 20. They need to get the snap off, and they will. Plummer dropped. Well, he was wide open and dropped an easy catch. Second and 15 coming up for the from the 20-yard line. Plummer. It's a Corbin trying to set up a screen with blockers out in front. Deshaun Corbin, touchdown! The screen works. Corbin is in for the score. Orlando back on top. And as quick as Louisville claimed the lead out of Orlando's grasp, Storm clinch it and steal it and take it right back. I don't know why I said clinch it, but all right, here is the extra point by Lance. It's good. All right, things are starting to get competitive here. 4-point game. You had 2 straight touchdowns exchanged to kick off the half. But Orlando back on top. All right, here is the kickoff to the Kings. Just plug my charger in here. All right, here's the return from the 6. Trying to get a blocker out in front. And out of bounds inside the 40. First down, Louisville. That'll be where they take over. Oh, boy. All right. All right, first down for Louisville from the 44. Bean throws it deep, incomplete for Winstead, and there are multiple flags that are going to get thrown here. Oh, there's a collision. Let's see what the flag's going to be here on this play. No foul on the play. They have an injury timeout for the injured Louisville defender. But it was friendly fire, too. Mahoney and Abraham of the Storm defense just and collide with each other in brutal fashion. Mahoney's all right, but Abraham is down. All right, second down. Pass sails incomplete for Bell. All right, third down. As Louisville's in trouble. Play clock is at zeros, and there was not a single flag thrown for a delay of game. Bean throws, caught by Lucky Jackson, but short of first down yardage. I think they're past the 50, so they got to go for this. Unless they want to kick a field goal for 4 points. Looks like they're gonna have to go for it. Yeah, they're at the 49-yard line of Orlando, so they have to go for this. Bean throws, caught for the first down. It's Bell with the catch. All right. First down for Louisville after the 4th down conversion. Their first one of the night. The 44 of Orlando. How did he get through that defense? What a run. Benny Snell gets through the gap and picks up 9. That phrasing. Excuse me. But you didn't think there wouldn't be a phrasing moment thrown in there, but there was. Second and 1. Back to Snell. Snell with a first down and more inside the 30. Inside the 20. Out of bounds inside the 15. Oh, boy. Kings moving with surprising momentum now here in this second half. Louisville now with a first down at the Orlando 13. On first down, did they get this off? They don't throw a flag for a delay of game. Bean will throw to Jackson for the touchdown. Lucky Jackson. And the Kings are back in the lead. Two straight touchdown drives for Louisville to start off the second half. Now here's Brown for the extra point. It's barely good. Just inside that right upright. We got a back and forth battle all of a sudden here. 20-17, Louisville back on top. What I tell you, the amount of Louisville Kings fans, they have shown up and shown out. All right, 20-17, 5:08 left in the third quarter. that family of Louisville fans has got weird all of a sudden. All right, here's the kickoff. And here's Corbin on the return. Jashawn Corbin down the sideline, out of bounds into Louisville territory. What a return! And the Storm aren't done yet. Wow. They'll take over with amazing field position as they're at the Louisville 45. Here's a reverse, almost doesn't work. And Hamler can only get back to midfield as he loses yardage, as that trick play was not destined to work. Loss of 4 brings him second and 14. Under 4.5 left to go in the third quarter. From the 49-yard line of the Kings. Plummer over the middle. What a catch! Wiglas with the catch. I tried to pronounce that as best as I could. Believe me. Sam Wiglas with the catch. First down. Here is Plummer going deep off the hands of Badger. He was wide open. Incomplete, man. He had Badger all alone, and he just could not adjust himself to make the catch in time. Goes right through his hands, and it's second down. From the 31-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And Stewart with a good run for a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2. Under 3 to go in the third. Storm going quick here. From the 23-yard line. And now timeout taken. Storm will burn their first timeout. All right, so Orlando's going to have a third down here coming out of the timeout. Third down and 2. Handoff. Stewart's got the first down and more. Down to the 17-yard line. First down, Orlando. All right, first down for the Storm. Give to Stewart again. Stiff arms a defender. Trey Stewart will get 9 on the carry, second down. All right, 2nd and 1 from the 8. Play clock winding down. They try a handoff to Stewart, and that's not going to go anywhere. Losing 4, backed up to the 12. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Storm. Third and 5, and now flags are down as there was movement prior to the snap. False start on Orlando. They move back 5. 3rd and 10 coming up. All right, 3rd and 10 from the 17. Plummer to Corbin. What a hit. He goes down behind the line, losing more yardage. And the Kings defense were prepared for both of those plays. And that'll end the 3rd quarter. More than likely, we will be seeing the Storm go for a field goal to tie up this ball game when the 4th quarter starts in just a moment. Okay. All right, let's switch over to the fourth quarter. Like lots of Louisville fans in attendance in this field. Like there's a drone flyby shot of the field, and good God, there are a lot of people watching this game. The stands are not packed, but they're not empty either by any means. All right, so here's Michael Lance, made from 44 earlier in the game, but missed from 28. This is a 40-yard attempt to tie up the ball game. And Lance's kick is up and through. We are tied. 20 all at the start of the fourth quarter. Okay, now things get interesting here as the fourth quarter starts off with a tie, with a game-tying field goal by Michael Lance. Yeesh. Here's the kickoff to the Kings. Return from the 5. And gets through everybody. Out of bounds and around midfield. A good return by the Kings. Ian Wheeler with a great return, and the Kings will take over at the 50-yard line. Touchdowns this season. The first 23 drives for the Kings, they've had 1 touchdown. And here in the last 2 drives, they've had 2. On first down, Bean throws and Jackson drops it. Was wide open, could have picked up some yardage, but it just bounces off of his hands as I'm realizing now it's starting to rain in Louisville. Second down for the Kings. Bean throws it up. Wheeler's got the catch, but only for a gain of 2 as he's forced out of bounds. Oh, and he is down on the ground. Ian Wheeler is down. And Bean also limping a little bit. Oh, his helmet gets hit on the ground. And they're going to take an injury timeout, but Ian Wheeler is down. Trying to save as much of my voice as possible. Just taking some deep breaths here. Okay. Here we go. 3rd down and 8 after the injury timeout. From the 48-yard line. Bean passes broken up. Forgot to mention it's the 48-yard line of the Storm here, so now Louisville in trouble as they got to go for this. It's a 4th down and 8. A punt is not an option here. Unless you're inside the 2-minute warning, which we are not right now. 4th and 8. Blitz coming. Bean throws incomplete, intended for Lucky Jackson. And the Storm will take over on a turnover on downs. Now Orlando with an opportunity to take the lead. First down, Corbin on the handoff down to the 48-yard line, a gain of 4. And now an injured King defender on the field. This is Cameron Dantzler, the cornerback, limping and heading to the sideline with assistance. Cornerback out of Mississippi State is heading to the sideline. So right now it's 2nd and 6 for Orlando. The Kings will make a substitution at cornerback. Pre-game odds, Orlando was a 3.5-point favorite on the road. The over-under 39.5, and it just got past the over. We are currently at 40 points. 2nd and 6. Plummer throws it up. Receiver is knocked down. They're going to throw a flag on this play. That's going to be pass interference on the Kings, which will give the Storm a first down. I take that back. It's actually holding on the Kings, but it's still a first down for the Storm. So penalty puts the ball at the Louisville 42. Plummer keeps it, fakes the handoff to Corbin, and then stumbles down to the 40-yard line, a gain of only 2. They go no huddle here, 2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line. Plummer fakes the handoff again to Corbin. Now going deep with this, he's got Hamler! And that is a touchdown! K.J. Hamler! And the Storm are back in front! Well, did that football touch the ground, though? If I'm the Kings, I'd use my super challenge here. And, yep, that challenge flag has been thrown. They do exactly what I said. Kings head coach does not think that was a completed catch for a touchdown. Yeah, you're welcome, dude. I'm lucky my Fox station is showing this game live right now. Another look at the replay just to make sure. That ball is touching the ground. The tip of the football is touching that ground, so this might be incomplete. And there's Blandino Snark. You were wondering where he was when he was going to make his appearance. Well, there you go. He is now here. First 2 weeks it was Pereira. Now this week it's Blandino for the first time this season. So right now they are taking a look at it, but to me, that ball is touching the ground. Like, it is hard to tell, but it moves as Hamler comes down with it. He might be Fox only. I don't know for sure. And wow, the ruling stands. So not only does Louisville lose their first time out, but their super challenge is gone for the rest of this game. Oh, boy, that's going to hurt them. As Orlando's touchdown to Hamler will stand. Now here's the extra point by Lance. And, almost looked like it was going to get doinked, but it sails through. It's a 27-20 lead for the Storm. And the back-and-forth battle continues on. K.J. Hamler with the touchdown. Extra point is good. 27-20 your score, but still plenty of time left in this game for the Kings to try to respond. But if they're going to do it, they got to do it now. It's now or never. With this tough of an Orlando team that you're going up against, you can't make any mistakes. All right, here is Lance on the kickoff. Here is the kickoff to the Kings from inside the 5. Here goes Lucky Jackson. Down to the 25. On first down, Snell on the handoff, only a gain of 1. It's 2nd and 8. Second and 8. Bean throws it up in the air for grabs. It's caught! And then he hands off to Snell. Davidson with the catch. Hands off to Snell. First down, Louisville. $10:53 to go in this ball game. And right as Davidson got down, Snell picked up a few more yards. So it's now first down at the Orlando 48. Bean over the middle, caught for the first down. Trey McKinney with the first down snag for the Kings. Now from the from the Orlando 36. On first down. Bean pump fakes. Pressure coming. He's got to throw it away. Could not handle that pressure. Second down. Nine and a half left to go in this game and counting. Second down and 10 from the 36. Bean with time, flushed out to his left. Bean will try to run, and that might not have been the best decision as he only scrambles for a single yard. It's now 3rd and 9 for the Kings. And they crossed the 50 already, so they got to go for it if this becomes a 4th down. Unless they possibly want to try to kick a field goal. But even so, whether it's a 3-pointer or a 4-pointer, still wouldn't make a difference. At least in terms of trying to take the lead. 3rd and 9 from the 35. Hand off to Snell, and he'll get blasted for a gain of just 1. And the Storm defense coming through, forcing a 4th down on the Kings. And they might be in field goal range, so they may just send out the field goal unit for this. Well, there was a flag on the play. It was a delay of game. So Louisville now faced with a 4th and 12. Here we go. 4th and 12 from the 38. Bean has to go deep with this. It's off the hands of Jackson. Incomplete. And it's a 1st down for Orlando as they'll take over on downs. I told them, like I said, they had to have done something, and they couldn't. And Orlando will take over in full control of their own destiny, looking to try to stay unbeaten and force the Kings to continue to be winless. All right, so here we go. 1st down from the 38 for Orlando after they take over off of a turnover on downs. Orlando trying to just chew as much clock as possible to end this thing. Plummer, pressure, out to his left, throws it up for grabs. It's broken up. And there are flags down. That's going to be PI. Either defensive holding or defensive PI. Whatever it is, this should be on the Kings. And it's PI. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down for the Storm. First down from the 41 of the Kings, and there is a flag down again for more movement before the snap. It's a false start on Orlando. All right, 1st and 15 after the penalty. Plummer wrapped up and down he goes. Backed up deep into their own territory. Second and 24. Plummer throws it away. Now they're really up against the wall. And I think because they crossed the 50-yard line due to that PI penalty, now, should this become a 4th down situation, they would have to go for it. Even though they're in their own territory, they already crossed the 50-yard line and have gone backwards, meaning that the punting would be out of play. 3rd and 24 from the 45. Handoff and nothing but a yard. And the Storm get held up as the Kings get themselves a big defensive stop. But again, they cannot punt because they've already crossed the 50-yard line. So Orlando will have to go for this 4th down. They are just outside of the field goal distance. 4th and 22 from the 47. Plummer over the middle. It's caught by Rowland, but not enough. He is 2 yards shy. And the Kings take over with 5:18 to go. And they will get another opportunity. The miscues tonight for the Kings. 7 penalties for 61 yards. 2 drops and 1 for 5 on 4th downs in this game. But they've got another opportunity. First down from their own 34. And he gets wrapped up on the handoff. Benny Snell going absolutely nowhere. 2nd down. Second down, Bean airing it out for Whittington. It's incomplete. And I did it again. It's Winstead. Winstead was the intended target. It sails incomplete, and the Orlando defender covering him almost had an interception. Third and 10. Bean throws, caught by Winstead. First down, Louisville. First down, catch made by Winstead down to the 49-yard line of Orlando. Should they get a fourth down here, they'll have to go for it as they've crossed the 50. 3:16 left in this game and counting. Louisville with 2 timeouts, and should it come to that point, the 2-minute warning. But again, they've got to get into the end zone. Down to 3 minutes left. 2nd and 5. From the Orlando 49. Quick throw from Bean. Pass is caught. Davidson, first down. And make that bell. It's still a first down for the Kings. Oh boy, this is coming down to the wire. First down is picked up, but they're still not there yet. 2.5 left to go, counting down. First down from the 43-yard line. Bean throws off the hands of Trey McKinney. Sails incomplete, second down, and this should take us to the 2-minute warning. Right through his hands, off his helmet, and to the ground. And we are now at the 2-minute warning. The Kings have 2 timeouts, but they need to get into the end zone, which is something they haven't been able to do since their second drive of the second half. Oh, this is going to come down to the wire, folks. Our only stream of week 3, and it's turned into a nail biter. Oh, boy. All right, here we go. 2-minute drill for the Kings. Again, 2 timeouts, but they need to get into the end zone. Let's get back into it. Second down from the 43. Pressure coming on Bean. Throws. Caught by Jackson. Gets out of tackles. First down at the 32. They keep the drive going. Louisville moves the chains once again. Tonight, Bean has had 21 completions for 320 yards and 2 scores. First down from the 32. Bean throws it deep. It's off the hands of Trey McKinney. Incomplete. Off of his one-handed attempt. Trying to make a one-handed snag. It bounces off his hand and falls to the ground. .143 left. 2nd and 10. Bean with time. Out to his right. Escapes. Throws. Caught! Davidson to the 6. First and goal, Louisville. First and goal from the 6. Bean, incomplete. Neither of the 2 receivers he threw to were waiting for that football. They were both turned away. It's incomplete. 2nd and goal, 1:17 remaining. Louisville trying to avoid staying winless. Oh boy. 2nd down and goal from the 6. Bean throws it up, incomplete. He overthrew Davidson. 3rd and goal. This is getting down to the wire, folks. I figure this, my guess is this becomes 4-down territory with the game on the line. You're down 7 here. A field goal will not cut it unless you're confident enough that you can convert a 4th and 12. They don't even want to think about that. 3rd and goal. 1:12 remaining from the 6. Bean looking, throws it up, touchdown! Touchdown, Zach Davidson! The Kings have done it! And they are an extra point away from a tie game. Zach Davidson has been a baller tonight, making the key catches when he needed to, and in this critical drive where they needed to get into the end zone, Zach Davidson scores the touchdown. All alone in the end zone, was wide open, and it's an easy score. It's 27-26, pending the PAT. But Orlando using their super challenge. They think there might have been offensive holding. Oh, and that looks to be as clear as day by number 69 on the replay. This may be coming back. There is a clear hold on this replay that, without a doubt, is offensive holding. They're taking a look at it right now. And there is no offensive holding. It stands. The touchdown is confirmed. Orlando loses their Super Challenge and their second timeout. But now here is Tanner Brown for the game-tying extra point. It is good. We are tied. Back to an even ball game, 27-all. Zach Davidson coming in the clutch, and Tanner Brown with the extra point ties this game up at 27 apiece. But in my opinion, we've had two controversial Super Challenges earlier in the game. KJ Hamler had a touchdown catch that looked like it was going to be incomplete because it had touched the ground, but they ruled out a touchdown catch. And moments ago, the Super Challenge of potential offensive holding that was clear as day on the replay, but does not get called. And because of those two controversial Super Challenges, we are at a tie ball game. Last drive, Bean was had six completions for 66 yards and the touchdown. He has certainly turned things around from the last time these two teams met last week. But now, Louisville electing not to go for the 4th and 12. More than likely, they are kicking this off. Now, if you're Louisville, you kick this within the landing zone to force a return. Don't kick it deep, and definitely don't kick this out of bounds in an illegal position. Roland awaiting the return. Kick is up. Falls in the landing zone. Here's the return. Roland will be down to the 28-yard line. And that will be where Orlando will take over to try to get into field goal range and possibly win this game. These two quarterbacks combined have had 590 combined yards and 6 touchdowns. Each of them have thrown for 3 touchdowns apiece. For Orlando, the ball is at their own 29-yard line. 1 minute left, 1 timeout because of the failed Super Challenge. First down for the 29. Plummer. Pressure. Throws. Incomplete for Roland. Looking for a flag and won't get it. Remember, neither team has Super Challenges, so they cannot dispute any potential penalties that may have been missed. Down to 55 seconds, 2nd and 10. Roland in motion, and now a timeout on the field. Louisville will burn their second timeout. Again, this is getting down to the wire. This definitely wasn't like this last week when these two teams met previously. Orlando pretty much had the game under wraps. But had Lance not missed that earlier field goal in this game, they could have wrapped it up. They could have been leading 30-27, but instead it is a tie game. Michael Lance again made from 44 and 40, but missed from 28 as he shanked it wide to the left earlier in the game. Here we go. 2nd and 10. Plummer throws. It's caught and out of bounds for a gain of 4. Jerome Kapp with the catch. 51 seconds left. It is 3rd and 6. From the 33, play clock winding down. They just get this off. Plummer throws. Rollins got the first down at the 41. "47 seconds left. And now counting. And Plummer will spike it. Wouldn't this be something if the second meeting between these two teams goes into extras? I'm pretty sure out of the streams we've done so far in this UFL season, I don't think any of them have gone to overtime. Keep in mind, Michael Lance's career long this season is 57 yards. They're still not in his range yet. 2nd down from the 41, still in their own territory. Plummer throws, going backwards. Losing what looked to be 3 yards. It's now 3rd and 12 from the 39. Plummer throws. Corbin's got the catch, but they only make up the yardage that they lost. It is 4th down, and more than likely, this could do it for regulation, as Orlando probably doesn't want to try to run another play. Or will they? Well, Louisville's burning their final timeout. With 10 seconds left. With the game knotted at 27-all. Oh, boy. If you're Orlando, you want to convert this, because if you turn this over on downs and fail to convert this 4th down, you could potentially be setting up Louisville for a game-winning field goal of their own. And they're actually playing the safe bet here and punting it. It's probably the best. That's probably the best decision they can make in this situation. Just punt it away. Try to stop them to end regulation. So here's Browning's punt. All the way back inside the 5, and Jackson will be down at the 5-yard line. With 1 second left, more than likely, Bean will just take a knee and send us to overtime. So again, the Kings will get one final play, but my guess is they just take a knee and send this thing to extras. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Bean takes a knee, and regulation is over. We are tied at 27 apiece. And we are going to overtime for what could be the first time this season in the UFL. My guess is this is the first time we're going to extras. Oh boy. Overtime, here we come. Oh boy, this is where things are starting to get real. And my guess is, again, this is the first time that a UFL game that has gone to overtime in this season. Again, the last time these two teams met, Orlando had the game under wraps. They were leading 19-9 and just took kneel downs to end it. This time around, in Louisville, it is completely different. 27 points for each team. Each quarterback throwing for 3 touchdowns and each of them possessing a hat trick. But now, I'm going to listen into the overtime, at least the opening of overtime, because this is big. This is the first time this has happened. I know for a fact in terms of the live stream. So with that being said, I'm going to listen in. So 3 attempts per team. Teams alternate plays from the 5-yard line. A successful scoring attempt results in 2 points. If the score is tied after 3 rounds, sudden death will be played to decide a winner. Okay. Louisville won the toss. They will start with the ball on offense first. Remember, this is not like the NFL. Think of it as like a penalty shootout, but with 2-point conversion attempts. The game summary so far. Again, each quarterback thrown for 3 touchdowns, 401 combined yards, and 38 points in the second half. So, there will not be any downs. There will not be any timeouts. Each team will have 3 attempts to convert a 2-point play. It's best of 3. So here we go. Louisville will start it off. Each 2-point conversion attempt will be from the 5. So here we go. Bean throws incomplete. They fail the first attempt. Well, they do show 1 timeout for each team, so I'll go ahead and put that on the screen, on the overlay. But the first attempt by Louisville is no good. The Orlando pressure got to Bean and threw it to the ground. So it is a failure. Now it's Orlando's turn. Here we go. Orlando now lining up for their first attempt. Plummer throws incomplete off the hands of Hamler. And Orlando's first attempt is a failure. We are still at 0-0. As Louisville will get ready for their second attempt. He had Hamler just right off the fingertips. All right. Just taking some deep breaths here. Here we go. Louisville stepping back out now for their second attempt. Again, each team has failed their first attempt. Here we go. And it looks like we have a timeout on the field. Orlando will burn their timeouts. Keep in mind, the UFL standings, Orlando is in second out of all the 8 teams at 2-0, with Louisville in dead last. A win here for the Storm would put them in proverbial first place in the league. Here we go. So Orlando burns their timeout. Here is Louisville's second attempt in this best of 3 overtime shootout. Bean will throw. Incomplete for Davidson. And the second attempt is a failure. Falls to the ground as the defender almost had an interception in his hands, but it sails to the ground. And the result still stands. It is a failure. Now here's Orlando for their second attempt. Receiver in motion. Plummer throws, caught but short. Corbin only got 3. And Orlando's second attempt is a failure. Oh, man. Each team has failed their first 2 attempts. Now, this is where things get interesting. Each team now on their final attempt. I'm hoping I still have a voice after all of this. Here we go. Louisville lining up for their final attempt. Bean scrambling. Pitches it. Caught. Was he in bounds? No. Snell had it, but he was out of bounds. He was right there, but could not stay in bounds for the catch. Oh, the 1 foot he put down was touching the white line. By mere inches, it's incomplete, and he steps out of bounds. Right there, man. That one's going to hurt. Snell had it. And the third attempt is a failure for Louisville, which means if Orlando gets this attempt, it's over. Orlando can win it here. Plummer throws it up. Incomplete, and there is a flag. And Louisville might have just shot themselves in the foot. Garner with the pass interference in the end zone. The ball is placed at the 1 yard line, and Orlando will try again from the 1 yard line. Now Orlando with an opportunity to win it again, but with a much easier field position. Again, if Orlando gets this, it is over, and they remain unbeaten. Here we go. To stay undefeated. Corbin denied. Brought down at the 3 yard line. And Orlando blows a golden opportunity as Corbin gets denied. So now it is sudden death as Louisville will step back out on offense. So here we go. The first 3 attempts for each team were failures. Now it's sudden death. Here's Louisville's next attempt. Bean will throw, broken up. Intended for Jackson. Falls to the ground. And now it falls in Orlando's hands once again. Here we go. Orlando once again in a game-winning situation. They convert this, it's over. If they don't, it still continues. Game will not end yet if they can't convert this. Here we go. Once again to stay unbeaten. Plummer throws it incomplete, and flags are down again. Are they going to get the Kings for PI again? Officials are talking about this one. Let's see. They're still conversing. They are really debating on this penalty. Let's see. Badger was the intended receiver. It looked like it might have been a defensive hold, and it is a defensive hold. And by rule, because it was a defensive hold, they rule it a successful attempt. Orlando gets the 2 points, and this game is done. The Storm remain unbeaten. The defensive hold was what hurt Louisville the most. Because of that penalty, it gave Orlando a free, successful try. The 2 points is good for the Storm, and they win it in overtime and stay undefeated as they go up to 3-0. And Jack Plummer can celebrate as the Storm have swept the Kings in these 2 games that they've had to face each other in consecutive weeks. And for the Kings, lightning struck twice, literally, by the Storm. They did everything they could. They took it to extras, but 2 defensive penalties was what ended up hurting them. But the biggest one that blew them was the defensive hold on Elijah Badger. And with that, the Storm have won it. Wow. What a nail-biter of a game, man. First time I think I've ever seen a UFL game go into overtime, because I don't think we've ever had one go into overtime last year. And I rarely streamed any UFL games 2 years ago, so this was the first time I think I've ever had a game go into overtime on one of our UFL streams. But my God, did it deliver. But with that, folks, my voice is exhausted. Folks, that's it. The Storm win this one 29-27. And that brings us to the end of a chaotic week 3. Yes, like I said, this was the only live stream that I was going to be able to do this week. So more than likely, the next time I'll be seeing y'all is next Thursday. Because for the first time ever, we have a Thursday night game unfolding on NFL Network to kick off week 4. So we're going to have 2 games unfolding next week. Next Thursday, we will have the Kings taking on the Gamblers on Thursday night. And then next Friday, the Renegades are going to be playing another game in which we'll be watching, as they will be facing the Columbus Aviators. And keep in mind, this Sunday, the Aviators are facing the Renegades in Dallas. So next week, they will rematch. those are the two games for next week. For now, thank you so much for watching and joining me here tonight. This was a chaotic game that went down to the wire. It went to extras. It was just unbelievable. But the Storm pull out the victory and survive to avoid a potential comeback from the Kings. So, until next Thursday for when we start off week number 4, I'm your host, Jose. I did it again. I'm so used to doing game shows on the other server I'm a part of that I completely screwed that up. Yeah, I did say my real name. Whatever. Until next time, I'm your host, JC, signing off for now, saying thanks for watching. Have a safe week. And like I said, no streams for the rest of week 3, so we'll be back next Thursday for week 4. So, let's meet back here next Thursday as we kick off another week of the UFL season for 2026. But until then, peace out, everybody. What